Morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. And thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Saturday Morning Sit Downs. In today's episode, I'm going to make a very, very bold statement. A Foul Play in Funland is the worst episode in Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1. I do have some reasons, and before we get into that, I would just like to say that I am going to be kind of modifying my upload schedule. So if I'm uploading at really weird times and uploading weird videos that I typically wouldn't upload at those times, that's why I'm just trying to get everything figured out because obviously, due to our current situation, I, as well as many others, have a lot more time on my hands, and I decided that I would use that time to make more videos. So I'm going to be uploading a lot more frequently, but I still need a couple weeks to kind of figure out my schedule and figure out how I want to upload and when I want to upload what. But that's my problem, so I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But yes, in today's episode, I will be explaining to you guys why I believe that Foul Play in Funland is the worst episode in Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1. Now, I noticed a lot of things when I watched this episode the last time that I watched through Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1, which I just watched this episode a couple weeks ago, and I picked up a lot of things. So yes, my statement is kind of exaggerated. I don't hate the episode. I don't hate any Scooby-Doo episode. But I did notice some things, and I wanted to share those things with you guys. I noticed a lot of things that I haven't noticed in the past that I want to share with you guys. So I'm going to go into that as well. So I'm not just going to be hating on this episode. There's just one specific thing that kind of makes me question the substance of the episode. But then the rest of the video is just going to be me expressing things that I noticed the last time that I watched the episode. So if you do like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. That will allow this video to be expressed or to be broadcasted to a larger audience. So don't forget to hit the like button. And if you enjoy classic Scooby-Doo cartoons or just any sort of classic cartoons, don't forget the subscribe button for new videos every morning at 7 a.m. And I think I'm going to be starting to upload at 7 p.m. as well. And then, of course, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, anything like that, don't forget to leave it in the comment section below as I comment back to each and every comment and I read them and I respond pretty quickly. With that being said, let's get into the video. Initially, I was going to give kind of like a summary of the episode, but I decided that would take way too long and that would make this video way too long. So I'm not going to do that. Also, I am experiencing a little bit of a cold, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. And also, I have noticed that sometimes my microphone cuts out, and I don't know why that is. I think it's the computer I'm using because I've tried two different pairs of headphones and it still cuts out sometimes. So my apologies for that. But anyway, first of all, there are going to be spoilers. So if you've never seen this episode and care about spoilers, stop watching right now because there will be spoilers. So anyway, my bold statement was based on the evidence that there's no villain in this episode. And if you don't know the episode, you should go and watch the episode. Come back to this video. It'll make so much more sense. I have a couple of shorts up of the video or of the episode, but obviously you're not going to be able to understand it very well, or just go read a summary, do something so you understand this video. And this will make so much more sense. So allegedly, Sarah Jenkins is the antagonist, so she's supposed to be like the villain. But it's not like she created the robot. So basically what happened, by the way, there are spoilers right now. So once again, click off if you don't want to hear these spoilers. But what kind of happened is her husband, Mr. Jenkins, is an inventor, and he created a robot to run Funland, which is an amusement park. And basically the whole villain or the whole scheme behind this episode is that Sarah Jenkins didn't want the robot to be working with children, so she allegedly sabotaged it to kind of go haywire. And that's what I mean by there's no villain. Like, what she's doing is actually beneficial if you think about it, or her intentions were beneficial. So there's really no villain in this episode. So I think that's why, in my opinion, it doesn't follow the plot sequence that Scooby-Doo typically follows. Speaking of, I did make a video about that nobody watched. So if you want to go watch it, it's on my channel somewhere. It has like 60 views or something. You should go watch it. But yeah, so it doesn't follow that. So there's just no scheme behind the episode. There's no bad guy really. Um, so that's basically my evidence for why this episode is bad, even though it's not bad. I really like the robot. In fact, I put Charlie the robot on my top 10 favorite the villains from Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1. So it's not that I don't like the villain, and I love the setting. It's just the whole sequence is kind of what gets me. So that's why. That's where that bold statement came from, saying that A Foul Play in Funland is the worst episode in Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1. Obviously, that's a hyperbole. That's an exaggeration. So don't get mad at me, but just hear me out for that reason. So that's why I made that statement. Now I'm going to go on to a few things that I noticed in the episode. And the first thing I noticed is this was the first time in the show where the motive is not greed related. And I sort of brought that up a little bit earlier in this video. Sarah Jenkins isn't doing it for money. She's not doing it for popularity. She's just doing it, in her opinion, to help things out. Because obviously she doesn't want a robot working around where children come to have fun. That's actually a line from the episode. So that's one thing that I noticed. The second thing that I noticed is this is the first time that the game comes across a villain that is unmaskable. And it's pretty self-explanatory, but what that means is there's no one. Charlie's not a guy in a mask. Charlie is Charlie. Like he's his own monster. There's no way to unmask him. So that was the first time in the franchise history, and of course this happens many times over the years following this episode, but this was the first time. Lastly, this was the first time that the antagonist, or excuse me, not the last time, the first time that the antagonist, which of course was Sarah Jenkins, was not sent to jail. Obviously, the law, or as they like to call the sheriff, wasn't involved in this episode at all. So, and technically, she didn't break any laws, so that's pretty obvious. And of course, she was forgiven because she does pop up later on in the episode after her in the scene after they figure out like what's going on. So that was the first time, and I honestly I don't know if I can put a finger on another time that has happened. I know it probably has, but I can't put a finger on a specific episode. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I know my bold statement at the beginning was very much a hyperbole. But I hope you did kind of see things from a different perspective, and I hope you did learn a few things from some of the things that I noticed in the episode. So with that being said, that's it for this video. Once again, my upload schedule may be kind of weird over the next week or so. I know this video is to go out Saturday morning, so I'm not sure if I'll have things figured out by then. Hopefully, but of course we'll see. I'm just trying to figure out really when to place my videos, what to post, just stuff like that, so I keep all of course, my followers, my subscribers happy. So that may be happening. Lastly, of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Of course, it allows this video to be broadcasted out to a much broader audience. And of course, if you enjoy classic Scooby-Doo cartoons or just classic cartoons in general, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to yell at me for this hyperbole that I stated at within the first minute of the video, don't forget to comment it down below, because I, of course, check comments many times throughout the day, and I respond to any of them that I get. So, of course, go ahead and do that. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next